Hey, thanks so much for being here. Welcome or welcome back. So today I am going to share with you my process here on cutting down my Wonderland tutu to turn it into inserts for my A5 rings. I apologize because the camera kind of shakes a little bit at the beginning, but I promise it stops soon. So here what I'm doing is just kind of undoing the cover, taking out the cover insert that I had on the clear, checking on my pages, and truly just thinking again if this is something that I really wanted to do. And I just kind of started flipping through the pages and just considering whether or not to keep it as it was. But it was just I needed to cut it down into and turn it into rings because it's just easier for me to carry, and being realistic, it was the best choice. So I decided to go for it, and then I started to undo the tip-ins vellum cover inserts that I have been putting around. I use these to separate sections, so I can redo the sections anyways. I will be using these same covers to punch and use them as covers again for the sections anyways, so it's not like I'm wasting anything. I'm just kind of rearranging everything. And then I decided to take these stickies out just so they didn't create bulk when I was cutting the pages, because the idea was that I wanted to cut the signatures together, and I think for the most part that's what I did. But I just wanted to remove any additional bulk, just to kind of make it easy on me. These are this part right here, I tipped in some pages from my cousin that I wanted to bring in and use in here, but I tipped it in so well that it was just easier for me to just leave them. So anyways, I started just pulling out the signatures, and the signatures is like the bunch of pages that are folded and sewn together, and they form a booklet, for example. So each signature I tried to kind of separate it a little bit, and then to start the separation, I decided to cut first the back cover of the planner. That was I guess I was thinking that it was going to make it easier, and I think it actually did. I just needed to remove the binding of the entire signatures. So all the glued part that was holding the signatures together, I ended up removing it, and that made it so much easier. The idea is that if you separate out of each one of these signatures, when it's time for you to cut them and flush, like, I guess trim them. That'll be the best word. Trim them down so they can be more flushed to for your punching. The idea is that the signatures will help you to keep your pages together and organized, and also kind of help with the process, maybe speeding it up since you have a bunch of pages together. So that's what I try to do here. I pulled out I don't recommend doing this because I could, in a few instances, was about to break rip the pages. So not necessarily the best way to do this. I could just cut down the sewn signatures instead of pulling them, but actually they were coming out quickly, I guess, or easy. So so that's what I did. So these are all the separated signatures, and then what I decided to do was to first, I wanted to try to cut it with this, and I tried it, but it's just it wasn't too strong or strong enough to cut through the signatures. So I did cut this one, but only to separate the cover and the back pocket, the front cover. This is it. And then I ended up anyways to trimming it down with my X-Acto knife or my utility knife, and that's what I use for all of the cutting for all the signatures. One thing that I will say is that when you're cutting like this by hand, you have to be prepared to know that your inserts will not be all flushed and exact to size, since you are cutting by hand and pretty much eyeing it, sort of. Although I did try to keep the signatures together using one of these clips, and I use my ruler to keep the line straight, or as straight as possible. but when you're cutting, especially if you cut signatures like I'm trying to do here, because I wanted to hurry up, the ruler can move, and you end up kind of with a tilted, I guess, cut. But in I guess overall, it's not that bad. It's not terrible. It's not that it looks wonky or whatever. It's just not flushed. But like I said before, if that's something that you think might bother you, I do recommend taking this to a store. I think that Office Max and Staples and places like that, if you take your book and you ask them to cut it for you, they will do it. I'm not sure how much they charge for it, but believe they do. The reason I didn't take it is because I have been already using this planner, so there's information here that I didn't necessarily wanted to share with anybody. So I didn't want them to be like flipping through my notebook or whatever. So anyways, so here I grabbed my puncher. I love this puncher. I got it last year, I believe, and I have been using it for all of my inserts. This is customizable, so you can punch B6, A4, A5, you name it. It has multiple sizes, and it is a very compact puncher, so definitely keeping this one around with me. So what I was doing here was just kind of measuring, making sure that I was aligning my punchers, or my punch, I guess, with the rings for my bender. And one thing that I realized later on is that I needed to put the rings in the cover before actually inserting or putting on the inserts. And I realized that then I didn't bother to take the inserts out. I just put, anyways, you'll see it. I just kind of put it back in the screws and everything with the paper, and that's how lazy I am. Anyways, so here I started punching my inserts, and I wanted to make sure that they were aligning, so I started inserting them in the rings, and I noticed that, like I said, some of them were not flushed, but most of it was good enough, I guess, for me for it to look decent, I guess. So yeah, I just went in and started to punch all of them. I did make sure to keep all of the signatures in order. That way it was I guess the idea is to make it easy on me, and just kind of make the process a little bit smooth. And actually it did work. So cutting them in the signature packs, and then making sure that they were aligned and stacked together how they came, make the whole process much easier. I want to say that I took maybe 40 minutes doing the whole thing, from undoing my planner, taking all the inserts out and cutting and then putting it together and all that. I think it was about 40 minutes, so I guess it's not that bad. So yeah, I guess what I'm looking forward with this new setup is the ability to split my planner. Here I'm showing you the entire planner in the rings. So this is the full 2024 year with the dailies and everything. And I ended up deciding to split it in two anyways, but I still wanted to see how it looked together, and just kind of test it around and flip the pages and see how well that would work and stuff like that. So definitely keeping it together was a little bit more challenging, because the rings that I chose for this particular cover are small rings. So yeah, holding a whole book like this, it's a little bit more constricted, I guess. So I decided to separate it. So I'm carrying 3 or 4 months at a time with my dailies and my trackers and stuff like that, and then just switching. The idea anyways is that I will leave this planner at home anyways, because again, it's too big. Regardless of even cutting it down, it's still like it's a big planner, and the cover make it a little bit bigger, since it is just it's just a big cover. So I think that I will be leaving this one home, like my main planner that will rule them all, if you may say. and then I will have a companion that I will bring with me, and I'm thinking that's going to be an insert for my traveler's journal, but more on that when the time comes. But for now, I am setting this one up as if so I went ahead and separated the monthlies and left just a few months in here. I believe I left 2 or 3, and my dailies, and everything else I will just stash away until I need them. And yeah, I think this is a good choice. I can't wait to start using them and telling you all about it. I will be sharing a quick flip through of the setup soon on my channel, so I hope you stick around for it. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.